Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Shayne. I write romance and romantic fiction, and here's what's happening in today's video. We're going to start off with a little get ready with me, where I'm going to talk about all the books that are on my radar and what's happening with my writing. And then we're off to Barnes & Noble, where we're basically going to do some book window shopping. And then we'll finish it off with a little mini book haul. All right, let's get going. New eyeshadow. I replace my eyeshadow every 9 months. I think it's 6 to 9 months is the recommendation. And the eyeshadow I had before I really liked. Yeah, actually it was Kylie Jenner's eyeshadow. Really liked it a lot. When I go to buy new makeup on Ulta, I just do a search for like eyeshadow, and then I'll filter based on vegan, cruelty-free, clean ingredients, sustainable packaging. I try to hit as many of those as possible, the non-negotiables being vegan and cruelty-free. And Kylie's eyeshadow came up, but this last time when I did the same search, it didn't come up. So I don't know if I did a slightly different search or what, but I ended up trying Smashbox instead. They're just not, the colors are pretty. They're really pretty. They're just not going on as vibrantly as the Kylie ones did. Kylie's palette had a lot of beautiful colors. I used them all, and they went on really well, really clean and vibrant. Because I feel like this one, it looks really vibrant there, but on me it's like, it looks just like my skin, so it's really just basically like almost acting as a primer. I always end up doing about 4 or 5 colors total when I do my eyes. Unless I'm doing something really super simple. Or I might just do one because I just want to get out the door. But today, we're doing something a little special. You know you're a book nerd when you say we're doing something special because we're going to the bookstore. I haven't been to the bookstore in a while, mainly because I was busy with working and I've been taking advantage of the library a lot. And because of that, I don't know if I'm actually even going to buy any books today, because I have I have at least 4 books checked out from the library, but I need to read 4. So I really don't need to be bringing home another book to read right now. But every week I kind of go through my emails. I have like a little folder in my emails that are where I put emails that have to do with book recommendations. So I'll put all my Goodreads emails, all of my Barnes & Noble emails, all of my bookshop.org emails, all of my like Penguin Random House and Simon & Schuster emails. I will save all of my book emails in a folder called Books List, and then once a week, I try to do it once a week. If I don't do it once a week, it becomes a nightmare because then there's like 50 emails to go through. Once a week, I will go through and read them and make a note in my book list Google Sheet of any books that I want to read and all the info that I want to track about it. And this last go round, I kind of collected a lot of books that had themes that are similar to my manuscript that is out on submission right now. Themes of like sexual awakening and expression and freedom and experimentation and finding joy and danger and all that stuff. I'm like, ooh, I want to check these books out. And a couple of them sound really intriguing, and they aren't available at the library. I already checked. Because if I see a book I like, now my next thing I check to see if it's at the library, and I put it on hold instantly. Because if it's a new release, it'll be on hold for like a couple months. So the quicker I get that hold in place, the quicker the library is alerted, oh, maybe we should buy some more copies because a lot of people are looking for this, want to read this book. And then the sooner I'll get it as well. I have to go to Barnes & Noble anyway because I need to get a new drafting notebook for my manuscript. And the new notebook that I have decided is my perfect drafting notebook is available at Barnes & Noble. So I'm going to get one of those, and then I also have to get a birthday card for my uncle. And then I'll wander on over to the book section in the meantime, see what they got. There's a book coming out next week. And it's kind of a behind the scenes of the making of Born to Run. Bruce Springsteen's Born to Run, which is one of my most favorite albums of all time. Shifted the ground from beneath my feet when I first heard that album. So anyway, there's a book coming out that's like a behind the scenes of the making of Born to Run. And I'm like, bet that is happening. So I definitely need to make sure I have enough money left over at the end of the month to buy that book next week. So that's another reason why I'm trying to kind of slow my roll. But that doesn't mean I can't look and I can't window shop. And I'm going to take you with me. It's going to be fun. I'm probably going to get overwhelmed just because I haven't been to the bookstore in such a long time. But it's going to be great. So I finished the midpoint revision. The midpoint revision is when serious sexy times happen, so it was a pure joy to write. But now we're in the part of the manuscript, we're in the part of my first draft, and this was, I remember this. I remember going through this part of my first draft and just like pulling my hair out because it was just not going right. I couldn't figure it out. I wrote multiple different versions with multiple different plot lines happening and multiple different settings and timelines. So when I went to go revisit this section to revise, I'm like, this is a big old mess. I mean, it is a big old mess. Timeline jumps, scene jumps, plot points that no longer exist. An entire page that I thought was actual text and is really me just saying, I need to look this up because I don't know what the heck's going on here. It's like, okay. Delete that section. Anyway, and it was there was so many, like every paragraph I read brought up another issue. Like, and sometimes the issue was literally like, they're talking about this character as if this character isn't standing right next to them, and it's because it was left over from a scene in which that character wasn't in the scene. Oh my God. Oh, so I spent probably 3 to 4 days going, okay, here's what we're gonna do. Just going through the text and just writing down line by line. Okay, on this page, this timeline doesn't line up. This page, the plot point no longer exists. This page, we didn't address this thing that happened from the previous chapter. This page, we jump scenes right in the middle of the scene. We jump locations right in the middle of the scene. And that's how and then I go back and I say, okay, what's the first fix I need to do? And I start prioritizing the fixes. And I just have that list of everything that's wrong in my notebook. So every time I sit down to say, what am I doing next? I can just look at that list. And then I also have the printed draft and I'll highlight or make like little red notations that will link up with what I have written down in my notebook so that I can say, oh yeah, this is the part in the actual text that needs fixing according to this note. That's what I've been doing. It worked really well because I was able to figure out what is happening in this next scene. It only took 4 days. But you know what? That's what you got to do. You got to put in the work. And that's what I kept telling myself. Because it's like, I've been here before. I've been here before where the plot was just not plotting. The characters were not doing what I wanted them to do or what they needed to do or whatever. You just have to put in that time. And even though you think, I'll be thinking, there's got to be a faster way. I've tried a few different lip liners. And I have come down to About Face, Halsey's brand. So far, this is my favorite lip liner. So on the reading front, I finally started Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. Loving it so far. It's really good. Also started When a Sorceress Comes to Call by Tink Kingfisher. All right, let's go to the bookstore. We're here. books I wanted to get. So many. It was torture. But I only got one because I know I'm coming back next week, and I got to make sure it's in my budget. This gives me time to think about it and know exactly which ones I want to get. I am back home from my shopping trip at Barnes & Noble. Just about every book that I wanted to look at was there, except for Sweet Obsession, which is the latest book in Katie Roberts' Dark Olympus series. And it's the last book that I need to read before the next one comes out in December. Maybe when I go back next week, they'll have it in. Because I am going back next week to get that other book. I think it's called Behind Jungleland or Behind the Jungleland. Wow. For a book that I'm really anxious to get my hands on, you'd think I'd have a better memory of the name, but it's fine. It's a behind the scenes about the making of Bruce Springsteen's Born to Run. And I'm like, as soon as I saw that, I'm like 100% getting that. But anyway, that's next week. I did really good. I only bought one book. First off, though, I did get my drafting notebook. It is by Fabriano. It's an Italian brand. I think it's $13 for this notebook. I really like it because, oh, you know what? Dang, this isn't what I wanted. This isn't the same one. So here's the one I've been using. It isn't the exact same one after all. No. Because this is one I've been using and it's just all paper. This one has different corners, which is fine, but it also has this band on it. I wish I'd seen that before. Darn. Because the whole point of me, when I buy drafting notebooks, is I want them to be like recyclable. And with this little band on it, not all of it's recyclable. It's fine. What am I gonna do? Like, I mean, I guess I could return it, but I kind of am probably going to need it before next week's, which is why I bought it. Anyway, you know what? I may go back and exchange it if I don't end up having to use it before next week, because I really I'm trying to really do the recyclable thing. Anyway, enough of that. The book that I did get, When the Music Hits by Amber Oliver. I think this is a debut. I came across my, I just threw that coupon away as if it meant nothing. We're gonna talk about this book, really. It's called When the Music Hits. It's a debut. I think I found out about it from, and I can't remember. I think it was like a publisher's email. Who published it? It was a Penguin Random House email. That's how I found out about it. It says, in this soulful debut novel set in the hypnotic music scene of New York City, a young Black woman lands her dream job at a major label, only to discover just how treacherous a place made to birth stars can be. Sounds absolutely amazing. I love the cover. Look at that. I think I read that it has blues music in it. And I love me some blues. And that was one of the things I loved so much about Sinners, was it highlighted blues music in the most wonderful way. But anyway, yeah, let's see what else. It says, growing up in the Bronx, Billy Graham sought solace in music, finding herself in the pulsing beats, striking lyrics, and mesmerizing voices that saved her when money issues and familial strife proved deafening. When she finally lands a coveted A&R assistant role at Lit Music Productions, one of the largest music labels in the country, it initially seems like everything she's dreamed of: sleek offices, exclusive parties, flashy deal-making, and she can't wait until it's her turn to find the next breakout headliner. But as she continues to work at Lit, she discovers the dark side to all the glamour. The hours are long, the demands are insane, the microaggressions from her mostly white colleagues increasingly rattle her, and Billy can't shake the sense that Lit's higher-ups are hiding something about their dealings. I'm sure there are. Then Billy stumbles upon a raspy-voiced, melodic singer and rapper who has the kind of fire to ignite stardom. I'm thinking Miles Catton already, even though that may not be it at all. But anyway, we'll keep going here. Who represents what Billy got into this music for, supporting real music with none of that pretending to be the culture. Just as she's on the precipice of signing her first artist, a shakeup threatens everything and endangers Billy's already precarious place in the pecking order. It sounds really good, so I am hoping to get into this along with, you know, the 4 books I have checked out from the library. I really want to get into this. I have something to look forward to. So that is it for my trip to Barnes & Noble, and until the next trip.